Smells like strawberry, whatever. Alright, so today we've got a dupes video. Wow, this has been about 6 months in the making because whenever I try a product where I'm like, whoa, that reminds me so much of this high-end product, I'll like put it down in my notes and then it takes me a while to build that list. So it's an exciting day. We are here. I've got a bunch of drugstore dupes for you guys. I don't think I've ever done the intro in one take. Wow. If you enjoy dupes videos, you can give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more. I do also do buy this, not that, so I'll leave that last one down below. Buy this, not that is more of like better options or different alternatives to some popular products. The products in today's video are either shade dupes or formula dupes or both, but they're super similar, basically the same, if not better, than the high-end alternative. My whole face right now was using all of the drugstore dupes, so if you want to see what these look like on and how they apply, I did a whole Instagram reel. You can head over to my Instagram, which is @TaylorWynn. All right, so let's start off with a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So this primer is probably the most tacky formula I have ever felt out of any primer. It basically just feels like a super sticky, tacky gel that does dry down, and it gives your face this nice like sheen once it does dry down. I can't stand the scent of this. It smells like pure like cleaning product chemicals to me. But the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, this is a tiny size. I do have the full size too, but the full size is $38. And the dupe I have for you is $8. This is the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I mentioned that I thought these were a dupe in a speed reviews video a few months back now, but this is pretty much the same thing, but I actually think the e.l.f. version is better. When it goes on, it has the same exact kind of clear, sticky gel feel to it, but this one gives a really pretty, almost like glass skin reflective kind of look. And with this one, I do find that certain foundations apply better. I feel like some foundations even have more coverage going on over top of this, but I find that the best foundations to wear with this are very moisturizing and dewy. So I'm a bad YouTuber and I started packing my makeup to move when my cousin was here, and we started putting everything in boxes, bubble wrapping it up, and I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I might need some of those products for future videos. So a couple of these I don't have to hold up for you, but I found a foundation dupe for the Givenchy Tint Couture Balm. So that foundation is normally $47. They call it a balm. It's really a medium coverage satin finish foundation, and I do really like that foundation. It sits really nicely on my skin. When I first started trying this foundation, it immediately reminded me of that, but it's the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. If you see my channel, I have raved about this. I have a whole other review on it. It's been in Raise and Rejects videos. This is one of my all-time favorite drugstore foundations. If you just want a very natural, skin-like, medium coverage, satin finish foundation that wears amazing throughout the day, this is your guy. You gotta try this out. I wear the shade 50 Neutral Champagne. Have it on right now. I love everything about this foundation when I just want my skin to still look like skin. Like, you can still see freckles coming through on my forehead, but it just has the prettiest natural look to it. Watch my review video. I go in more in depth about this if you want to know. But the finish of this, the coverage, everything reminds me almost exactly of the Givenchy Balm, City Balm. What a weird name. All right, next up I have a dupe for the Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer. The shade that I have is Enlighten. I do actually want to purchase one shade darker. I'm not as into like icy kind of white highlighters as I used to be. I still really like this shade because it does have a little bit of champagne to it, and I do really like this highlighter, but I want to go like one shade darker and see what it looks like. But the formula of this is unique for a liquid highlighter. It's very, very airy, silky feeling, and it does dry down more to like a powder. It almost feels like nothing when you're blending it out. It just feels very lightweight. So this highlighter is $22. I have a dupe that is $1.55. So here we have the AOA Glow Baby. This is one of the best products that AOA makes. AOA makes some amazing products on Shop Miss A, but they make $1.55 cruelty-free products, and also a small percentage of that also gets donated. So pretty crazy for having such a low price point, but this is in the shade Morning Glow. So these are not obviously shade dupes, but the formula is so close to the Rare Beauty. When I put this on for the first time, I was like, whoa, Rare Beauty. It has the exact same like silky kind of feel to it. I feel like the Rare Beauty is a little bit more long lasting, but I prefer the look of the Glow Baby because it doesn't have any kind of glitter. The Rare Beauty does have a little bit of glitter if you're like looking in the sun, but the AOA is just like that really nice, super natural looking sheen. And you could mix this in with foundation even if you wanted to, but it just gives you that very pretty natural kind of look. If you saw my Instagram reel, I did also apply a powder highlight over top today. So right now I have on a Sigma Glow Kissed over top, but again, you can go watch the reel and see what this looks like on its own. So I recently talked about the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Divine Blush. Packaging on this thing drives me insane. Once you can actually get it open, this is a $38 blush. And I just think a blush, any blush over like $20, it really has to be amazing to me because there are so many killer drugstore blushes. And I think I even said in the speed reviews video, like I'm pretty sure I can find a drugstore dupe for this because it's just it is pretty. Like the more I've used it, if you just like a matte blush, it is pretty, it goes on fine. It's good, but for the price point, I just really don't think you need to spend the money on this one. And I have pretty much an exact dupe for this blush. So the dupe is $3 from Essence, and it's their Befitting blush. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. Going on, I will say the Essence is a little bit less pigmented, but you can totally build it up to get the same exact kind of color that this one has. You do have to dip your brush more into this one. I personally kind of prefer that because I find it easier to work with if blushes are buildable rather than having like a ton of pigment right off the bat. But these shades of these are pretty friggin' close. I will just like finger swatch them for you. Blushes obviously look different once they're blended out on your face, but I did do these side by side. They're very similar. The Essence has a tiny bit more peach to it, while the Pat McGrath has a tiny bit more pink. The finish and shade of these are so similar. But once these are actually blended out on your face, I mean, you really can't tell a difference. And $3 versus $38. Blushes really, for that price point, have to like really stand out to me. One of the few that I do think is worth it is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Haven't found a dupe for this. There's something special about this blush. Oh my god, I feel like I really forgot to do something today. Let's just hope for the best. So this next powder I love. It's one of the few powders that works for my skin and I love the look of because it has such a pretty sheen to it and it doesn't take away the coverage of my foundation, which a lot of loose powders can do. It's the Tatcha Silk Canvas powder. Personally works amazing on my skin. If you like a slight glow to your face, you don't want a powder that's gonna mattify, this is beautiful, but it is $48. A few weeks ago, I was just going through my collection, pulling out some old makeup, and I was like, hold up. This powder actually reminds me so much of the Tatcha. It's the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This dupe is $8. On my face right now, I actually have half on either side. I have e.l.f. on this side and Tatcha on this side. And like when I look up close, you really cannot tell a difference. The one slight thing for me is the Tatcha looks a smidge better on my forehead than the e.l.f. And the e.l.f. Halo Glow you actually can use as like almost like a brightening kind of highlighter product. It's not gonna be a highlighter like this. If you use this with a really small highlighter kind of brush, you actually can get like a nice, very subtle highlighted look. Obviously, e.l.f. is killing it. I just realized I have a few e.l.f. products already. This next one is one that, again, I packed the high-end version, but the high-end version is the Rare Beauty Cream Blush. These are $21. Personally, I don't love this blush. I don't think it's like amazing. I do think the Rare Beauty liquid blushes are amazing. I love the formula of these, but the cream formula doesn't totally blow me away in the same way that these do. But when I tried that formula, it reminded me so much of this guy. This is the Believe Beauty Doll Face Cream Blush. You can get Believe Beauty from Dollar General for $4.50. This is one of my most reached for cream blushes. The formula, the shade, the finish, everything is so beautiful. Whenever I put this on, I love the way my cheeks look. It does have a dew, but it's not overboard. And I feel like this is one of those cream blushes for me where it does add like pigment to my cheeks where it's not lifting up the foundation at all underneath. If I ever see a Dollar General again in person, I am definitely picking up every other shade they make of this because I love the formula so much. And even the packaging of this reminds me of the Rare Beauty, just like the gold a little bit. Such a good, affordable cream blush. And not just affordable, like out of all of my cream blushes, this is one of my most reached for between drugstore and high-end. So eyeliners are one of those things for me that I found you really don't need to buy high-end. There are some amazing drugstore and more affordable liners. One of the things I love to do is put a cream liner on my waterline. I have it on today. It just really brightens up your eyes, especially if you're someone like me who gets like red eyes very easily. It just really makes you look more alive and like you're not, you know, doing things. Don't want to get demonetized here. But this is the NARS High Pigment Longwear Eyeliner in Rue Bonaparte. So it's just a cream liner. It blends into my skin tone. What I look for waterline eyeliners are ones that just glide on. They stay on not ones that you have to go over 50 times on the waterline, because, you know, that's what can happen with a lot of eyeliners. The NARS is a $24 eyeliner, and the dupe I have for you is $9 from BH Cosmetics, and you can actually usually get it closer to around like $5 because BH Cosmetics does so many sales, but this is their Power Pencil in the shade Beige. This has the exact same kind of pigmentation, glide, everything going on the waterline, if I can get the cap off. The color for me of the BH is actually better because you can see it's slightly lighter. So it just gives that extra kind of brightening, but it doesn't look pure white. Sometimes pure white can be a little bit too much. I feel like this one on my skin tone still looks super brightening, but it is still more of like a light tan cream shade. Let's do another eyeliner dupe while we're on the topic. So this is the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eye Crayon. I got this based off someone else talking about it, saying it was like their holy grail eyeliner, and it was just like super black, super creamy. And I agree, it is very creamy, but for me, this one actually doesn't go on the waterline great. It does apply really easy to the top. It's not my favorite on the waterline. It is very friggin' black though, but it's $26. And one thing I don't love about this one is that if I'm doing this kind of line with this, where this is actually the dupe pencil I'm going to talk about, where all I have on is a pencil right now and then I just smudge it out with the brush. If I do that with this, I find that it tends to transfer up, whereas the dupe that I'm going to mention does not do that. It's the L'Oreal Eyeliner Signature Eyeliner. This is such a good drugstore eyeliner for the waterline, for doing this where you don't want it to smudge. Here it is on this side. I mean, this one does look like it has a little bit more darkness to it as far as just how black the blacks are. It's weird. When you actually blend it out, you can see the Marc Jacobs almost has like a little bit of brown to it, whereas the liner is more of like a blue-black. L'Oreal you can get for about $7, so 7 versus 24. I mean, I just think you can go with the L'Oreal one. This applies great on the waterline. So at this point, I really don't feel like you need to spend the money on the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is $22. I do really like this thing, not as much for overnight because I don't feel like it moisturizes my lips that well, but for a long time, like I think for a year or two, I was using this just during the day. I mean, I've gone through like half of this. I was using it just during the day because I really like the color of this. It's like a very light pink, milky kind of thing that just like plumps up your lips. Smells like strawberry, whatever. But I overlooked the scent because I love how this makes my lips look. Definitely has a pretty thick consistency, and I have mentioned in the past a dupe for this formula-wise that I actually think is better is the Clavu Lip Sleeping Mask you can get on Yes Style, but that one doesn't give me the same like look to my lips. It doesn't have that pink color. So I found something that does have that pink color and I think actually moisturizes better. And that's $1.55, again by AOA Shop Miss A. So this is their Jelly Jam Lip Mask. I have 2 shades here, but these give you such a similar look to Laneige, and they also feel so comfortable on the lips, and they are very moisturizing if you do want to wear it overnight. The formula is like so soft. I just really like digging into here. Very satisfying. Here's the rose shade. It does have that like slight pink tint. And then this one is strawberry, which just is a bit lighter, but it still gives you that same kind of look. So I think just depending on like how much pink you want. Here's Laneige. So Laneige actually looks closer to, what was that one, strawberry? This year I did a full Glossier brand review, so I did a whole video going through my thoughts on most of their products. I've tried almost all the Glossier products, and this is one that did definitely grow on me. It's the Glossier Brow Flick in the shade Black. This year I definitely used this for a few months straight. Almost every single day I went in with Glossier Brow Flick, and I do like it, but if you've been watching my videos recently, you know I have a new brow pen that is the love of my life. It's the Milani Weekend Brow in the shade Espresso. That's what I have on my brows right now. I did go with the Anastasia Brow Freeze first, and then an e.l.f. pencil just to line the bottom, and then I go in with the Milani Brow Freeze and just flick it up. The Glossier is $18, the Weekend Brow is $9, so literally half price. And I really prefer the brush on the Milani because look how much smaller it is. But it actually comes out the very tip, which is what you have to look for, because some products have like small brushes like ColourPop brow pen, but then it doesn't actually come out the tip, so it ends up getting too fat. It's long lasting. I do want to try finding like more of a rich shade because I feel like this shade can look a little bit too like gray on me. Next up I have a shade dupe. These 2 lip liners are so friggin' close, and this is one of my favorite high-end. It's Sephora, so the Sephora brand isn't like super crazy priced. This one is $13. It's the Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liner in the shade 01, the Nudist. This has almost like a satin kind of glossy finish to it though, so when I wear this, usually I'll just put it all over. The other day I had a total brain fart and went to sharpen an automatic lip liner that you twist up from the bottom, so this is what happened. great choices. This shade in this pencil has been my favorite cool toned lip liner for years. It's great for layering with lighter nudes or just wearing on its own. And I found pretty much an exact shade dupe. Half the price. It's $6 from ColourPop. It's their lippy pencil in the shade Cool BFF. So there is a BFF. This is the Cool BFF. This is actually pretty cool because this one by ColourPop is matte. So if you like the tone of the Sephora, but you want a pure matte lip pencil, then you might like this formula better. But looking at the shades, I mean, they are pretty similar. When they're on your lips, you really can't tell a difference. Today I have on the ColourPop liner, and then over top I put the Ardell Vinyl Vixen in Soft Touch. Did I say vinyl right this time? It's like the one word that I literally can't remember how to say. Next, I have a dupe for the Glossier Priming Moisturizer, which is $22 for 1.7 ounces of product. I think I actually might have mentioned this in the Glossier video that I think this is pretty much a dupe for that. Yeah, I definitely mentioned it. It's the Good Molecules Silicone-Free Priming Moisturizer. This is $12 instead of $22 for the exact same amount of product, 1.7 ounces. And they both not only describe themselves as being a priming moisturizer, but these have almost the exact same, like, identical kind of feel to them. But I definitely prefer the Good Molecules one. If you have dry skin, I think you will love this. I do feel like it does something nice under makeup. It just gives like a very silky kind of base, but not slippery. Like, it absorbs into your skin more like a moisturizer would, but then it also just has this very like soft kind of quality to it. For me, the Glossier one I found did nothing. It kind of was just like an expensive basic kind of moisturizer. All right, and then last dupe, this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. So this is $33, and I have a $6 dupe for you from Wet n Wild. It's the Photo Focus Setting Spray. So actually not the natural finish. If you want more of a do the natural finish, but if we're just comparing the formulas and everything, I think the original version of this, just the plain Photo Focus, is actually pretty much identical in finish and formulation to the Urban Decay. This setting spray does help the longevity of my makeup. I feel like Urban Decay does too. But one of the reasons why I still like this one and use it years later is because it doesn't super alter the finish of foundation. Sometimes I want to do that, especially if I have on a super matte foundation and I need to make it like come to life. I'll use the Catrice Dewy Glow. So setting spray can be great in that way to totally change the finish of your foundation. But if you are already looking glowy and you don't want to add more of a glow, that's when I'll go in with this or the original Photo Focus Setting Spray. So that's everything. Those are all of the drugstore dupes I have for you. I'm going to leave everything linked down below in the description box. For the rest of my makeup, you can watch again that Instagram reel that I will also have linked down below if you want to know everything else on my face. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, I really would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. It helps out my channel and it just tells YouTube that it should send this video to more people, so it really helps me out. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.